Welcome back to Hannity. So it seems that Hillary Clinton has been inserting herself into the news lately, and yesterday she wasted no time to chime in and give her 2 cents on the Supreme Court Hobby Lobby decision. Take a look.
We're always going to argue about abortion. It's a hard choice, and it's controversial. And that's why I'm pro-choice, because I want people to be able to make their own choices. And it is... It's very troubling that a sales clerk at Hobby Lobby who needs contraception, which is pretty expensive, is not going to get that service through her employer's health care plan because her employer doesn't think she should be using contraception.
Here now is the author of, well, a book that's doing infinitely better than Hillary's book, Blood Feud, the Clintons versus the Obamas. Ed Klein is back with us. First of all, she's a lawyer, former First Lady, smartest woman in the world. There are 16 specific types of birth control that Hobby Lobby's plan gives people.
Right.
16.
They're still providing that for their employees.
I know. I mean, it infuriates me when people lie like that. It just drives me nuts.
You know, she was under sniper fire in Bosnia, if you remember. So, you know.
All right. Good point. You were discussing earlier today that she's angry. Your book's doing very well.
Right.
I mean, she's like in the 40s on Amazon. You're in the top 10.
That's right.
And you have been all week.
Thanks in part to you, by the way.
Well, no, but thanks in part to you. I mean, you were editor at Newsweek for all these years, and I know the mainstream media ignores you because they're protecting her, but she is angry and thinks America doesn't appreciate her?
She thinks that she's going through such a gauntlet of criticism, even from her friends in the mainstream media, that maybe they don't appreciate me and maybe I shouldn't put myself out. You know, this self-pity is a classic example of Hillary's being a victim. If it's not because she's a woman, it's because of Monica, or she always finds an excuse to blame others for her own problems.
But 45,000 books in a week for somebody that was paid $15 million.
That's right.
This is a major loss for her publisher.
They're going to take a big bath, and I wouldn't be surprised if there were some heads rolling at Simon & Schuster.
What do you mean, for paying that type of advance to somebody?
Absolutely.
But I mean, I don't know what their expectation was. All right. I have been playing on the show something that the rest of the media will ignore. Hillary Clinton from the 80s defending a child rapist who passed a polygraph that she said, I gave up all my faith in polygraphs, meaning she thought he was guilty, and got him off with time served. And yet she goes out with this contraception issue like she's the one that cares about women.
Women and children, right? Yeah. And here she is on tape cackling her Hillary cackle about, I knew he was guilty, but I got him off anyway.
With 2 months. And the woman has spoken out now. And she's outraged and feels that she was victimized by Hillary. All right. I understand that maybe, even though you were a Newsweek editor for 12 years, that the media may ignore your book. I think it's unfair, but I can understand it. I don't understand how, in good conscience, they could ignore that tape. Neither
do I. And it's the shame of the media. Somebody should write a book. It used to be the shame of whatever it was in the progressive era. This is the shame. We're living through a time now when the media is absolutely abdicated its responsibility to people. This woman who was raped and whose rapist got off because of Hillary, nobody's covering this story except you.
A very prominent person was watching you on this program last week, very prominent, and said, everything that Ed Klein says that Bill Clinton said, he has said to me multiple times. Bill Clinton does not like Barack Obama. He loathes him.
He does loathe him.
How bad?
He's called him the man he hates most in the whole world. But you know, Sean, he believes that Barack Obama, well, let me start again. Bill has been checking with state chairmen, Democratic state chairmen all across the United States about what Obama is up to, and he's come to the conclusion that Obama is looking for a mini-me, a clone of himself, to make sure that Hillary doesn't get the nomination. So Bill feels that his biggest enemy is Barack Obama.
Unbelievable. So in other words, that they're looking for another Barack Obama to replace Barack Obama?
Exactly.
I think the country's fed up with Barack Obama and the poll show. How are they all reacting to Monica Lewinsky being back in the news?
Well, I think, it's an embarrassment, but, she embarrasses herself by referring to her virgin harassment what a word she chose.
I don't really want to bash Monica. I blame him.
Well, so
he was the president. I mean,
and she was a kid.
Well, I mean, she was an adult, but a young kid.
Young kid.
A young adult. All right, Ed, congrats on the success of the book.
Much.
Appreciate it.